In a landscape rife with speculation, the Philadelphia Eagles' A.J. Brown has become the focal point of trade rumors, with the New England Patriots emerging as the frontrunners in this high-stakes game. While many fans are bracing for what seems like an inevitable exit, it's crucial to remember that until a deal is officially inked, the landscape can change dramatically. So, where are you watching from, Eagles fans? And what do you think about the possibility of losing such a pivotal player? Brown, a standout receiver who has proven himself time and again, could potentially shift the balance for any team that acquires him. The Patriots have been at the forefront of discussions, but they aren't the only ones in the hunt. The Los Angeles Chargers, for instance, have a compelling case. After 2 consecutive disappointing finishes in the AFC West, Jim Harbaugh's squad is under pressure to make a significant move. With a coaching staff that understands the value of a premier wideout, they could be poised to make a big swing for Brown. Just imagine the impact he could have on Justin Herbert, providing him with the kind of playmaker he has yet to experience in his young career. Moreover, the Chargers' financial flexibility with ample salary cap space puts them in a prime position to shake things up, especially with offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel's vision to expand their passing game. This is a team that is hungry for success and understands that Brown's presence could be the catalyst they need to finally ascend the playoff ranks. Then there are the Buffalo Bills, a team that has made it clear they are all in on a Super Bowl run, especially after the recent firing of Sean McDermott. Their urgency cannot be overstated. The time is now for Buffalo, and they're not shy about making bold moves. They've already made a splash by acquiring DJ Moore, but landing A.J. Brown would elevate their offense into another stratosphere. For Josh Allen, having a receiver of Brown's caliber could maximize his potential and ensure that this window of opportunity doesn't close without a championship. Even the Tennessee Titans, who drafted Brown and enjoyed his explosive playmaking ability early in his career, shouldn't be counted out. While it may seem unlikely for him to return, they have the cap space and a young quarterback in Cam Ward who could greatly benefit from an elite receiver. After a season where their leading receiver managed just 560 yards, it's clear that Tennessee is in dire need of offensive firepower. The AFC South is often wide open, and a player like Brown could be just what they need to turn their fortunes around. Let's not forget other teams that can make a play. Teams like the Los Angeles Rams, Las Vegas Raiders, and Baltimore Ravens all have their eyes on potential upgrades at the receiver position. The market for A.J. Brown is heating up, and whichever team secures the services will be getting one of the most dynamic talents in the game today. In just 7 NFL seasons, he has amassed over 8,000 yards on 524 receptions and found the end zone 56 times. A 3-time Pro Bowler and a key contributor to the Eagles' Super Bowl 59 championship run, Brown's resume speaks for itself. As we navigate through these swirling rumors and speculate on possible trades, one thing remains clear. A.J. Brown is a game changer. The clock is ticking, and decisions are looming. For Eagles fans, the prospect of losing such a vital player is daunting, but the reality of the NFL is that nothing is ever guaranteed until that final signature is on the contract. So, as we keep our fingers on the pulse of this situation, let's see where this roller coaster ride takes us next. The Philadelphia Eagles are shaking things up in their front office, making some strategic moves that could redefine the team's future. With a few key departures from the organization this spring, it's clear that rebuilding the pipeline was a necessity, and the Eagles are not taking this lightly. So, where do you stand on these changes? Let us know where you're watching from and what you think in the comments. As we dive into the details, the Eagles have officially announced several shifts across their football operations, scouting, and sports medicine and performance departments. These changes are not just about filling vacancies. They signify a renewed commitment to excellence and a forward-thinking approach to team management. It's a critical time for the organization, and the decisions made now will impact the Eagles for years to come. Among the highlights, we see the promotion of Barry, a name that has already made significant waves since joining the Eagles. At just 39 years old, Barry boasts a robust background, having spent 14 years at Goldman Sachs before making the bold leap to the NFL. His tenure with the Eagles began as the Director of Football Operations and Strategy in 2023, and it didn't take long for the organization to recognize his potential, elevating him to the role of VP of Football Operations and Strategy after just 1 year. This type of swift ascension is indicative of the trust the Eagles have in Barry's vision and capability to guide the franchise forward. The departures that precipitated these changes were not taken lightly. They highlight a critical juncture for the Eagles as the front office reshapes itself in response to the evolving landscape of the NFL. The front office is the backbone of any successful team, and having the right people in place is essential for making informed decisions, particularly in the draft and player acquisition processes. Fans should be optimistic about these developments. The Eagles are not just looking to patch holes. They're building a team that can compete at the highest level. The new hires and restructured roles signal a commitment to enhancing the scouting process, which is vital for identifying talent that can thrive within the Eagles system. It's a chance to bring in fresh perspectives and innovative strategies that could yield significant returns on the field. However, it's crucial to remain critical as well. While optimism is necessary, we must also hold the organization accountable. Promotions and new hires must translate into tangible results. The Eagles have had their fair share of ups and downs in recent seasons, and while the foundation is being laid, it remains to be seen if these changes will lead to the kind of success the fans crave. As we move forward, the focus will be on how these new roles will affect the team's performance in the upcoming season. Will Barry's financial acumen translate into smart, strategic moves in player negotiations? Can the revamped scouting department identify gems that can contribute immediately? These questions will linger as the offseason progresses, and all eyes will be on the Eagles as they prepare for the draft and free agency. The future is bright, but it's also filled with uncertainty, and that's what makes being a fan so exhilarating. With the Eagles making these strategic shifts, it's clear that they are positioning themselves to be a formidable force in the league. The foundation is being laid for a new era, and as we watch this unfold, we must keep our expectations grounded while also being hopeful for what lies ahead. As we transition to our next segment, the conversation around the Eagles' front office changes will undoubtedly continue, and we'll see how these decisions play out on the field. Stay tuned for more insights and updates as we delve deeper into the team's future strategies.
The Philadelphia Eagles have made a strategic roster move that many might overlook, but it carries significant implications for the future of one of their most promising draft prospects. The team has placed the international player exemption on Uar Bernard, effectively securing his spot on the roster through 2026. This seventh-round draft pick from Nigeria is seen as a potential gem in the making, with hopes that he can develop into a player akin to the success story of Jordan Mailata. Let's not underestimate what this means for Bernard. After participating in his first official football practice during rookie minicamp this past weekend, he faced the usual challenges of a newcomer, including struggling to put on his helmet, something Mailata also experienced in his early days. Yet, this roster move is a monumental step for Bernard's development, ensuring that the Eagles are committed to his growth for the long haul. By placing Bernard under the international player exemption, the Eagles are essentially safeguarding his position. As the training camp wraps up, players involved in the International Pathway program have the opportunity to either be signed to their team's 53-man roster or waived. If they clear waivers, they can then be signed to the practice squad using an IPP exemption, which grants an additional practice squad position. This gives the Eagles a unique advantage. They can maintain a 90-man roster while also securing an extra practice squad spot should Bernard not make the 53-man cut. Reflecting on the Eagles' past decisions, they kept Mailata on their 53-man roster in 2018, and it's highly likely they will do the same for Bernard. This is a strategic play to ensure that no other team can claim him if he remains protected on the active roster. While there's always the risk of cutting him on roster cut-down day, the Eagles are unlikely to take that chance. If Bernard were to go unclaimed, he could still sign to the Eagles' practice squad, where the international player exemption would safeguard him from being poached throughout the season. It's crucial to recognize the significance of this international player exemption. Players who are signed to a practice squad without this exemption are treated like any other practice squad member, which complicates their protection. By ensuring Bernard's safety, the Eagles are betting on his potential and investing in his future. Now, let's turn to the other international player on the roster, Uar, who was signed as an undrafted free agent. Due to the Eagles' choice to utilize the exemption on Bernard, Uar will count towards the 90-man roster all summer. However, the stakes are higher for him. If he does not secure a spot on the 53-man roster, he becomes vulnerable to waivers and can be claimed by any team. If he ends up on the Eagles' practice squad, he'll be treated like a standard practice squad player, losing the added protection that Bernard enjoys. The Eagles are navigating a tricky landscape here. While they are doing everything possible to ensure Bernard's presence on the team in 2026, Uar's situation is less secure. If he doesn't make the final cut, he risks being picked up by another franchise, leaving the Eagles with a tough decision to make. As we look toward the future, it's clear that the Eagles are committed to fostering talent from diverse backgrounds. This move not only highlights the team's strategic foresight, but also reflects their belief in the potential of their international prospects. Fans, where are you watching from? What do you think about the Eagles' decisions surrounding Bernard and Uar? Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. As we wrap up this segment, it's worth noting that these roster decisions can shape the Eagles' trajectory for years to come. This is the foundation of a team that's looking to build not just for the present, but for a sustainable future, and we should all be invested in how these narratives play out. Remember to subscribe for more in-depth analysis and insights on our beloved Philadelphia Eagles. Let's keep the conversation going about our team's direction and potential.